Mom was saying so much about the Bridgeport Rescue Mission as Thad was, and one of the things that in there is a year-long program, and one of the things they get to, and they all get to this moment, if they're truly being transformed by the Lord, it's about month 4 or 5. They all get to this moment where they start to talk about how they regret. Now that I know, and now that I'm well, and now that I know who the Lord is, all the wasted time, and like they're rethinking all the years on the street. They're really, they're rethinking the decisions that got them there, and there's that regret that starts to set in because now they know better, and now they know the Lord, and they're thrilled to be saved, and they're so grateful. But they get to this regret moment, It just happened last week for a woman named Dina. And, she's like, I wish I had known, and now that I know the Lord, I want to do so much for him. I wish I could have done it for him then, and all these years wasted. And I'm, first of all, I just had to stop her. I said, that's not the way it works with the Lord. He knew, not in the puppet master way, what you would do this, do that, do that. He knew the decisions that you would make. By the way, he's God. He knows these things. He also knew the exact moment that you would come to him. And in that exact moment, who you would be, personality, your weaknesses, your strengths, everything that makes you you, he knew that is the person he needed at that moment to now be his and now go do the work for him. So I said to Dina, so he needed you to be this Dina with the choices and the decisions and the consequences, absolutely. But you're his now, and you're this Dina, and now you're going to go live for him. So this Paul, this zealous, crazy, seeking the Christians, killing them and torturing them, this Paul, you think really what could God do with that? That's the personality that now turns in truth and in light and is now for the Lord. And so we can get there too. Oh, that past, these are the decisions I made. These are the wrong things. I knew that my image was there and this is what happened. And, God doesn't want us to sit there. He wants us to recognize it, but he doesn't want us to sit there. He wants us to take this new identity, this new creation that we are in him, with everything that makes us us, and now go and live and work for him. Because that's what he needed us to be. He needs me to be this Jan, warts and all, in order to do what he wants me to do for him. Because my identity isn't in who I am that you tell me. I'm not wife, mother, daughter, teacher. I am all those things. They actually are my identity. But it isn't why I do what I do, and it's not the solid foundation I stand on. It's Jesus. It's who he is. And I'm telling you, I can imagine sometimes the life of Paul, how he was, because then he had to go and talk to the apostles, who he had been persecuting up until this point, and convince them that, he was a new man, and now I'm on your team. And all of the things that he then had to walk through. Think about that. We just think conversion, who he was, the conversion, and then how great he is later in Scripture. He's writing these letters and the things that he's teaching us. There had to be this process, this growing transformation process of the identity that was Paul to the identity he now speaks of, saying it's Jesus and Jesus alone. It's him crucified, and that's where I stand. That was a transformation process that got him to where he was, and it's important to understand that that's the process that we're into. And so our shift, our focus gets off, it starts to move, we have to have people around us to safeguard us, because it's important to know where you stand and who you stand with, and that you belong to the Lord.